Karuga. Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember the 50 waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. Important news are new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a seaport factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look, these 3 words written larger than the rest. With a special pride never written before or since. Tall words proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird O' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird O' Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Enterprise Wednesday for January 4th, 2023. Today we are watching Season 1, Episode 14, Sleeping Dogs, as in Let Sleeping Dogs Lie, the line from, I believe, Henry the Fourth. It aired originally on January 30th, 2002. And it's a Klingon episode. Richie Poole appears to be first in the chat, though I do believe there were people before him that YouTube deleted the comments because they were too old. So Richie Poole says sleeping sassy because they're sleeping dogs. John Araki says wake sleeping birds up. LDG says this is a great episode. Josh Reed says it's that time for the week for one of Sassy's heroes, Porthos. Josh Reed says remember to use @BirdO'Prey5 when the episode starts, so BirdO'Prey5 sees your @BirdO'Prey5 comment. So BirdO'Prey5 will read your BirdO'Prey5, or BirdO'Prey5 will ignore your comment without @BirdO'Prey5. Probably all true. Josh reads his bird is late, time to fire bird and hire Bird O'Prey 6 to replace him. Yvette says good evening, Bird X and everyone X. I think the X's mean kisses or hugs. I am feeling happy, relaxed, and very content in my last week before returning to work. Awesome. LDG at Free the Net says bird is purring like a kitten. What the fuck does that even mean? I'm gonna make sure I'm 8 seconds in. Yeah, don't worry. We're 8 seconds in before we curse on YouTube now. LDG says, never mind, he's up. John Street says, LDG, it's not Bird. It's most likely Sassy and Bird O'Prey 6, formerly known as Charlie. John DeMarco says, greetings. I tell you, Charlie, my sis O'Prey called this morning. Charlie stood at the top of the stairs at Sis O'Prey's house and says, he was going to grandma's house, which is my house, and he doesn't understand the concept that I technically own this house, but it's grandma's house to Charlie. Fine. But he was going to grandma's house because grandma has apple slices and chocolate cake. And that's what he wanted. It was at 6:25 a.m. Eastern time. He told Sissofrey he was going to grandma's house for apple slices and yummy chocolate cake. And now that he's got his own car, he could conceivably drive. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long the batteries last. Josh Strait says, Bird is late. I'm not late. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. I put in the link if anybody would like to join the panel. I will pin that while I'm here. Josh Reed says, for the new, remember to bookmark the Bird screening room to watch along with Bird, only while Bird of Prey 5 is streaming the episode or movie at www.birdofprey5.com/SR. Yes, if you are new here, if it's perhaps your first time, you can watch this episode live with us while I do this live, and only while it's live at birdofprey5.com/SR. The address is over the view screen on the YouTube window. If you're not watching live, then you've got to get your own copy of the episode to watch. You can stream it on Paramount Plus, possibly on Hulu, some other streaming sites out there, depending what country you're in the United States, you're kind of limited. Or, of course, if you have it on DVD or Blu-ray, physical media is a great way to watch as well. So whatever you've got. If you've got nothing, you can watch on YouTube, but you'll get a screenshot every 10 seconds or so, and there'll be no audio except my own commentary. So, but you'll have some idea what's going on if you've seen the episode before. Josh Street says refreshing takes him to LDG's channel. Well, Josh Street, you're doing something wrong in that case. Moxley fans is Bird of Prey, Qapla Bird. Hope you and the family are doing well today. Well enough, Moxley. Thank you. And Moxley says, we, the people. That is a great way to start every stream. And Moxley says, hello to you all. Josh reads his Bird of Prey, stop lying. You just deleted the early comments. I didn't delete them. I love the early comments. When I had to refresh my own page because the video hadn't started, I lost them. Low specs Linux laptop puts in the Linux Penguin. Qapla low specs Linux laptop. Glad you could make it. And Syphilis, our friend from down under, says good morning, Trekkies. Good morning or afternoon or tomorrow, whatever it is, Syphilis. Anyway, let's get ready. Let's head over to the screening room. Again, we're watching season 1, episode 14, Sleeping Dogs. And I just realized I forgot to set up the screening room. And of course, there's a problem with the screening room. Son of a bitch. There we go. Okay. I'm connected now. I had to hold down shift and refresh for it to work. Seriously? Oh my God. Everything is an issue. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong today. Okay. At least in terms of the stream. Okay, we've got the streaming room set up. I hope it's not Thursday, January. Oh, it's Thursday, January 5th in Australia. That makes sense. Okay. It's for us, it's still Wednesday the 4th. Tomorrow's just your future yesterday, says Mike Richards. That is true. Moxley fans in Vertebrae Houston, we have a problem. Hopefully not. Hopefully everybody is able to make it into the screening room. If you could not make it in the screening room, click on the link and hit shift on your keyboard and then refresh. Either shift F5 or shift and hit the refresh arrow with your mouse. That should get the screening room to load. It worked for me. So I'm going to count down. We're going to hit play in a few seconds and we're going to get started. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have start. Somebody's opening. I don't know. Is that a phaser? No, that's yeah, it's a phaser. And they got a target on the wall. A target that's flying. A firing window. Hoshi's going to shoot the phaser. Hoshi's not a bad shot. Some impressive holographic technology for the 2200s. An entirely new weapon. Moxley says the screening room won't work on his Chromebook. Oh, well. I agree, John. It seems a bit advanced for the 22nd century. Moxley, did the screening room work before on your Chromebook? Has it ever worked on your Chromebook? Is the question. And this is the famous opening of Enterprise. Something about it being a long road and having faith, a specific faith of a specific body organ. Not that organ, a different organ, the heart. Moxley fan says, no, the screening room has never worked on my Chromebook. Moxley, has Cosme ever worked on your Chromebook? Do you know what Cosme is? Cosme is another brand, if you will, of screening room. And I'm curious if you know if Cosme's ever worked on a Chromebook. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't work on the Chromebook because it works on Android phones. Moxie's no idea. Never tried. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I use the screening room on an Android TV device from time to time. I know it's weird to ask, but is there any other browser available for Chromebook other than Chrome? Like, can you get Brave, or even Firefox. Is Firefox available for a Chromebook? Because if so, I bet it would work on Firefox. So there's a Class 9 gas giant. T'Pol doesn't understand why humans are so interested in them, as there's 4 gas giants in Earth's solar system. And Archer's like, well, none of them are Class 9. Moxley's not sure. Well, if you get a chance, Moxley, see if you can download Firefox from the store or whatever it's called. And when you get a chance, could try it out next time. The Camerazite flu sounds like COVID. Yeah, how do you catch a cold on a sealed starship? Lurking inside a sealed container. Somebody who packed the case was nursing a cold. That was back in space dock 9 months ago. Viruses can lay dormant for months. You see, this is why I don't like opening packages that come from far off places. I think he should stay on the ship, locked in his quarters with separate ventilation. Shouldn't be allowed to spread his diseases around the universe. Now Hoshi wants to go on an away mission. By how she's changed in such a few short months. She got her space legs. T'Pol asked you to assign her, and you said nothing, and they hoped she would come to you, which she apparently did at exactly the last second. Like T'Pol just wants to start a fight with another woman. You don't see her making those types of cracks at Reed. Right, an hour, of course. Away missions never last longer. 47 Yorktown says hello, young sir. Hello, 47 Yorktown. Qapla. Now Hoshi can see hatches at 50 meters away. They made a beeline right for the hatch. Didn't even do a once around the ship. Try to figure out what type of ship it is. For all they knew, there was a window. It's breathable. You can take off your mask, your suit. There's a pretty strong odor. He's got a cold, so he can't smell anything. But Hoshi and T'Pol can. So he is definitely spreading his cold virus on an alien craft. And now they know it's Klingon because Hoshi could read it. T'Pol's not familiar with every Klingon ship. Three biosigns, all very weak. How weak? Asked Hoshi. Very, very weak. She already explained that. It could be biological warfare, Mike Richards. Oh, so a heads up, if anybody cares. On the last Bed Life, I played my Beach Boys parody, California Girls, at the end. And even though there was very little actual Beach Boys music, it was so low. I didn't think anybody would complain about it. It did, in fact, trigger a copyright match, which wasn't a big deal since I knew I could always just cut the video off since it was at the very end of Bed Life anyway. So that's what I did. I cut the video 2 minutes early, so it was removed. So while that did remove the copyright match, apparently YouTube also decided that was enough to qualify it as editing the video. So they dropped all of the messages, the chats. So all the chats from Monday's Bed Life are gone. The video's there, but the messages are all gone. So sorry about that. If anybody watches or looking for messages, that's why they're missing. So deleting a part to do a copyright match is now an absolute last resort. Had I known that would have happened, I would have even attempted to fight it first. But just something to keep in the back of your mind if you ever have a live stream that gets a copyright claim. John DeMarco yells, not the Targs. Let sleeping Targs lie. That would have been a better title. Mike Richards is more poo-too shenanigans. And Dave G says lame. Substance D is in the house. Qapla. Substance D. Ah, there's another Klingon woman. That's not Lurser nor Bator nor Grilka. Nor Worf's nanny. The one who thought Chemtech was still fat. And into open space. It's not a good sign. Klingon claiming to be attacked by an unknown warship designated Enterprise. Unknown, yeah. John DeMarco says, attacked by an unknown ship, then gives the exact name and registry. Like that Pearl Harbor. We're being attacked by an unknown attacker with Japanese flags on their planes. They also look Japanese and they speak Japanese. And they're talking about pledging their lives to the Emperor. We're going in. Structural integrity. If you can access their helm controls, don't you think they would have been able to get themselves into a better orbit if they could? Why would you have any better chance? 54.5 Access Radio. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? No. Hey, Archer got a signal through. Okay, he said, don't worry about it. They're going to take care of it. Well, it's going to be a new maximum. Let it fail. If the leader's weak, they'll try to kill him and take command, says Tupper. Technically, you did infect him with the cold. John DeMarco says, thanks for the support, Trip. Dan Ben says, hello. Cinnabon Bunny says, this was such a wasted episode. Some people really like this episode, but I'm not one of them. I think this was a very average episode at best. Cinnabon says, they could have gotten rid of Hoshi and made it easily look like an accident. Wow. Dan Ben says, vertebrae, do you find Klingon females unattractive or hot? Unattractive, Dan Ben. Unattractive, generally. Much prefer Vulcan females. Like the original Savick. Not so much to Paul, mind you. How about you keep an eye out for any ship coming that way? Mike Richards is in the house. Says Bird of Prey 5 loves tribbles. Smiles. Their reactor pit. It's a great name for engineering. Who wants to toil away all day in engineering? They want to toil away in the reactor pit. Yeah, maybe move the body. I wonder if he's dead or not. Dan Ben says they do mention photon torpedoes and bird of prey in this episode. Well, I heard them mention the photon torpedoes. I don't know if this is a bird of prey. Great that they send out full welding suits. I would not say that's a bird of prey. Maybe they say it is. John DeMarco says this ship is not a bird of prey, but the Klingon woman mentioned them. Ah, she's just going to find blood wine. Those are gummy worms. There's a so gummy. You can see they're gummy. The thing is, they're still disgusting because they're licorice gummy, if I had to guess. I don't know. I'd probably rather eat an actual worm. Come on, Hoshi. You've cooked worse at home. Really? Args? Args are both pets and food? I find that hard to believe. I'm going to enter your mind. I have the power. This reminds me of Kess on Tuvok. And it's like, there's nothing beyond the subatomic. So I guess there is. I can see it. It's all just a drug-fueled craze. Oh, she just had her first Vulcan lesbian experience. Vesvian for short. Uh-oh. That's not good. The engineering pit got smaller. What are you going to do with the torpedoes? Qapla. Duty. Please relax. You're only a woman tied down amongst a bunch of alien men. We're putting chemicals into your body. We have very little knowledge of your biology or physiology. Have you had a drink lately? How do I know you're not Bill Cosby? The script originally called it to be the Orions, but for some reason, somebody higher up wanted to change it to this other species. I really don't see the reason. I think Orions would have worked fine. How many years did you test this injection before you injected me? She's a pretty substantial woman compared to Hoshi. Or T'Pol. Hey, Rock Solid is in the house. Cinnabon says she'll need 900 booster hypos. She can't live with it. She can't live with it, says John DeMarco. Rock Solid Productions uses his 27-month Kurogan Orphan super chat to say, I suck. Wait, no. Rock Solid Productions is saying that he sucks. Unsubscribe to me, meaning Rock Solid, and give all of the subs to Deej. Rock Solid, I don't believe that you suck that much. But I do believe everybody subscribed to you and I should be subscribed to Deej as well. Hashtag confirmed, says Rock Solid. They're here already. Hey, Daniel. Captain Archer just made it back to Enterprise. Just as the Klingons show up. Hey, Daniel.
Hi, Bird. How you doing?
Not bad. Look at those Klingons about to attack. John DeMarco says hello to Admiral Forrest, who is, of course, playing a Klingon in this episode. Again, that was supposed to be played by someone else, but they got busy. They're
You know the guy who played Admiral Forrest played a Klingon in TNG?
I did not, but
yeah, he was the
makes
one.
Sense.
Yeah, he was the Klingon. You know the one where Worf. Remember when in season 1 when
yeah,
the ship?
Those two Klingons came over.
Yeah.
So he had experience being a Klingon.
Yeah, it's kind of like
the decon chamber.
Is that where they rub each other?
Sometimes, when the plot calls for it. Of course, Malcolm's supposed to have a cold. So what's the point of being stuck in the decon chamber with somebody who's actually sick? They want to be in the decon chamber. Sounds like a lie to me. Jedi Bill's in the house. Qapla Jedi Bill says, Qapla Bird of Prey. This is the first time I have reception. Jedi Bill recently moved. So I guess it's taking him time to get his network set up. Hail, Jedi Bill. I hope you get your setup going well soon.
Who's hotter, Soshi or T'Pol?
I'd say Hoshi, but
yeah, Hoshi's definitely better looking in my opinion too.
So that was season 1, episode 14, Sleeping Dogs, and what a jip! Porthos isn't in it once. How do you name an episode Sleeping Dogs and there's no goddamn dog?
Yeah, that's sad.
Bullshit.
Maybe he was sleeping. That's the point. He was sleeping. That's why we didn't
It would
see
have
him.
been even better if he was sleeping. They could have did a quick, oh, where's Porthos? He's sleeping. Ba-boom. You just said the episode title. You get extra points when that happens. I know how Hollywood works. You get a bonus every time you say the episode title in the script. It's part of union rules. Jedi Bill says, where I'm at, very bad reception. Where I'm living, I won't have my internet up till sometime this Friday. Sorry to hear that, Jedi Bill, but at least you will have internet. And Cinnabon Bunny says Hoshi isn't allowed to be near Porthos. No, Cinnabon. Hoshi is not going to cook Porthos. Oh, my God. Poor Hoshi. Poor Porthos. Well, guys, this was it. This was Enterprise. Daniel, I know you came in at the end. I'm assuming you didn't get to see much of the episode.
No.
I would call this a very average episode of Enterprise, which, you know, compared to New Trek, is certainly very, very good. But as classic Trek goes, this is a middle of the line episode, middle of the road. It's often compared to the Deep Space Nine episode, Starship Down, which has a similar plot, but people pretty much universally agree is a better story. People obviously are up to have their own opinions on the matter, but that's how it reads. Dan Vance is Bird of Prey. Vaughn Armstrong has played 12 different characters in Trek, TNG, DS9, Voyager, Enterprise, and also in some Star Trek video games. And Stanley says, yeah, poor Hoshi. She was so wasted. Only that one episode where she had the bare midriff and looked hot as hell. Now that was in a mirror darkly. That was Mirror Hoshi. Dan Vance's Starship Down is a good episode, absolutely. And Stanley says, but they frumped her up most of the time. Guess the Vulcan chick demanded to be the only sex symbol. Well, clearly T'Pol was dressed to be the sex symbol, where Hoshi was just often dressed to be just any old member of the crew. Though to me, the fact that she was not trying to look hot is what made her more attractive to me. And at the risk of every episode coming down to who's the most attractive female in it, I will say it's Hoshi, at least in this episode. And I'm not going to apologize, because that's what half the people watch for. And if you say no, then why did they need to bring in 7 of 9? Case closed. Stanley says Hoshi was like the Mary Ann to T'Pol's Ginger and hotter. Absolutely. In fact, that's a great comparison, Stanley. Also liked Betty more than Wilma. Yeah, I guess so. And I never thought about it like that, but yeah. Hashtag Betty's Nug. Wow. Wow, rock solid. Wow. Anyway, Daniel, anything you want to say before we get going?
Oh, yeah. First of all, have you ever played Star Trek Online?
Like once and then not, because I couldn't figure out how to play it.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I just installed it and downloaded it finally. And I barely learned how to do the when you control the characters, right? But the ship controls are so hard. It's hard to control the ship.
I never got to the control of the ship. I couldn't get off the goddamn starbase I was beamed to. I didn't know what the hell to do.
Yeah, it's a good game, but the controls are just so bad.
There's another game out there. I think it's called Fleet Command.
Oh yeah,
That
I
looked
downloaded
pretty
that
good.
too.
I saw
Yeah, it has like
Deep Space Nine. Yeah,
Deep Space Nine music. So
yeah,
good.
it had some Captain Cisco on it. That looked a lot better to me.
Yeah.
But I haven't downloaded or played it either.
I thought, I always. Do you ever think that Captain? I hope Cisco will return. I really do. If they find a way to get him back.
I'm cautious. I'm a little bit scared that Robert Meyer Burnett says that you have to have watched all of TNG and all of Deep Space Nine before watching Picard season 3. That Picard season 3 is going to have a lot of DS9 in it. And that scares me because I just don't think they could possibly do Deep Space Nine justice. But we will see. We will see. I tell you what, though, I would say season 3 of Picard is either going to be the greatest season of New Trek or the worst season of New Trek. Worse than any season of Discovery or Picard before it. So, one way or the other, I imagine I will have a heck of a time reviewing upcoming season 3 of Picard, which starts middle of February. I only hope, I hope, knocking wood, that I have the strength I have now still come February, because it's going to take all my strength to review that season.
Well, Robert Meyer Burnett said the season was like the best of any Trek show we've ever seen. He said he gave really good reviews.
I know, and he said that by episode 4, he's saying anybody who's seen DS9 and TNG, he says by episode 4 will be completely sold. He actually said 40 minutes in to the first episode, you'll probably be sold, but watch 4 episodes and you'll totally be into it. He says he's watched the 3rd season twice in full already.
Yeah, he's lucky.
I don't know. We'll see. We will see soon enough. All I can say is the 2-minute teaser that they put out with Picard wearing glasses and his Enterprise D uniform with its comm badge just laying around his house made zero sense. Why does he need glasses? Why would he have an old comm badge? Why does the old comm badge get service, but all the other comm badges not? I mean, it's like, what does it have? Its own fucking phone number that nobody else has? It doesn't get forwarded it just doesn't make any lick of sense. And I told him that on Twitter. Of course, I didn't get a response. I didn't think I would, but if that 2-minute scene, the glasses were the least of the ridiculousness, and even the glasses make zero sense. Why would he need glasses when there's a pill or whatever everybody takes to get their eyes fixed? I mean, in 2023, You can get LASIK done at the mall. Surely in 100 years, you'll have LASIK done in your home.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
whatever. We'll see. We'll see. Keeping fingers crossed, I guess. It's not that it may have Deep Space Nine connections. It absolutely has DS9 connections, Dan Ben. Hakeem says Star Trek Resurgence is the new game coming in April and looks like it will be good, hopefully. Lol. Stan says still too little, too late. Then why not give us 3 seasons of that if it ends up being good? Well, apparently the guy they got working on it didn't start till this season. So if we get one good season, we'll see. Dan Ben says also Star Trek Resurgence will have a prequel comic. Prequel comics are garbage, Dan Ben. I read the prequel comic to Picard, and it was out of date before the fucking season even began. They fucked it up. It was supposed to come out. The prequel was supposed to come out before the show started, and they screwed it up because Geordi was supposed to die in the comic, but then they realized they didn't want Geordi to die, so they had to cancel the comic and re-edit it. So the new comic didn't come out until after Picard started. So the whole point of reading the prequel was to finish the prequel before the first episode of Picard, and they couldn't even do that right because they're complete and total fuck-ups. They can't do anything right. Anything they try to do, they fuck it up. It's not possible for them to not fuck it up. Okay,
yeah, for the best writers.
4 or 5 years now, every time they try to do something, they make it worse. So forgive me if I don't believe that I have, don't get me wrong. I believe they wanted to make a good season of Picard. I don't think they necessarily said, let's make the worst season of Star Trek and call it Star Trek Picard season 1 and then call it Star Trek Picard season 2. I don't think that was their goal, but they're just not able. It also has Lore and Moriarty. And that, Dan Ben, is another problem I have with it. There is no real... They're just pulling characters out of thin air to give us stuff. There is way too much going on. There shouldn't be a story that has Lore and Moriarty and Deep Space Nine in it. It just shouldn't exist.
It just shows this season's really packed with stuff, and usually that means good, right? When it's packed.
No. I disagree. Okay, if you look at the best episodes of TNG, they weren't packed with all types of things. They were relatively quiet episodes. I mean, even episodes of Deep Space Nine, some of the best episodes use some of the fewest characters. Okay, in A Pale Moonlight, it's Sisko giving a log. Okay, you got Garrick in it. You got a Romulan senator. You got a couple of short moments with some of the senior crew, but it's mostly just Sisko retelling a personal log. You got TNG. One of the best episodes is just Picard giving his speech from Admiral Satie about the chain that binds us all irrevocably. And Data's Day is a relatively simple episode. Things like that. Inner Light, the Enterprise crew is on it for what? 5 minutes at the beginning and 5 minutes at the end. Yeah. Stanley says, yep, instead of glasses, they just give you a quick zap. at the optometrist. And Cinnabon says, why does Picard even know how to write in cursive? Well, obviously because they need to sign, he needs to sign the Chateau Picard. So that's some type of, thing that's passed down in his family. Mike Richards says, farewell from Columbus, Ohio. Take care, Mike Richards. John DeMarco says he got a bonus bird rant. Yeah. And I gotta get going for physical therapy soon. Dan Ben says, make a video game that doesn't need additional material. Hakeem says, Stanley, I'm not too sure, but it's on the Epic Game Store. I think it has that one. John DeMarco says, Duet was a bottle show, and it was one of the best. Absolutely. Stanley says, Picard interrogated by the Cardassians. Okay, that one, they kind of did that one, a chain of command. There was a lot going on in chain of command. You had Worf and Crusher and Picard on an away mission. You had a new captain on the Enterprise. You had a lot of stuff going on. Stanley, there are 4 lights, just 2 actors for most of the episode. Well, it was a 2-parter. Back today, Mama Pray, we had to order new lights, light bulbs for the bathroom. And Mama Pray, how many lights in the fixture? And she said, there are 4 lights. And I was like, are you sure? I thought there were 5. And she double checked. There are 4 lights. Okay, Mama Pray. There are 4 lights. Anyway, Daniel, anything about this episode you want to say?
I don't remember this episode very well.
Okay, fine, that's fine.
What's next episode?
The next episode, that's a very good question. The next episode is Shadows of Pajem. A Vulcan delegation headed by Ambassador Sabal complains to Admiral Forrest about the recent diplomatic incident at Pajem. Sabal blames Captain Archer. In response, joint fleet operations are suspended, and Commander T'Pol is to be recalled from her post. The Enterprise is on its way to some other planet. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway. So yeah, Shadows of Pajem is next week. Dan Ben says Jeffrey Combs as Shran, the Andorian. That's true. Anyway, I've got to get going because I've got physical therapy later. So Daniel, one last line you want to say? Now's the time.
Nothing comes to mind right now.
No
Sorry.
problem, Daniel. Qapla All. I will see you guys perhaps soon. Otherwise, certainly for Friday for Bed Life. Qapla All, Bird and Panel out. Oh, and if you're bored or whatever, check out the backstage at freethenet.org/underground. That is the LDG backstage. It's where I tend to hang out between streams.